Hello Internet, Demajen here, and welcome to what is unfortunately going to be a rather messy video. Because of the way I had to change my sound setup to record Metroid Prime 4, I unticked a couple of boxes in OBS and I forgot to retick them before recording my first playthrough of Pragmata's demo. So you will be able to see that I have got, as soon as it shows up, 25-ish minutes of recorded time in this demo. But whilst it didn't record the game audio, it did record the game visuals, and it did record my voice, because I recorded it on a separate track. That was kind of the problem. Lesson learned, I will simply record the Switch on, or the PlayStation 5, on another track, as opposed to trying to avoid doubling it up by unticking something. It was a stupid mistake, but it was a mistake nonetheless. Now, I didn't really want to just put out a video where the gameplay is silent, because I don't see the point in that, and the impressions that I have, obviously, it's not really first impressions if you just re-record things. So what I have done is, I have been and just watched through my original playthrough, and I've got a page of probably 30 bullet point notes that I made as I was playing. So I'm going to, in some way, I don't exactly know how I'm going to do this, and I don't know whether it's going to work, but I'm going to try and recreate, in places, the important pieces of my initial impressions playthrough, and adding in any thoughts of my own as I go from this second playthrough. So I'm going to take off the scribble suit, which is what you get for completing the demo, and we are going to go through things, and it's going to be messy, and it's going to be interspersed with bits of my original first impressions, which I can't recreate. I'm just going to add them in, and I'll try and make it super clear when it is something from the first impressions side of things. I'm really sorry about this. This is entirely my own fault, but I know that this is going to be an interesting one in terms of game experience. So it's going to be a cut in a second where I talk about the age thing, and then we will get into the meat and potatoes of this. A bit personal, isn't it? This will not affect gameplay, but it cannot be changed later. What has my age got to do with anything? If it's a ratings thing, they should let us know, not just please enter your age. We're not going to tell you why. That's weird. That's already a little bit off-putting, if I'm honest, for a game that I'm really not 100% sure on what is going on anyway. I'd kind of appreciate if, and I said this in the first impressions, if it told us on this screen what the difference between them is, because you kind of feel like you're just making a choice and you don't know what the criteria are. It tells you, but what if it didn't? It feels a bit odd. Let's get into it. Obviously, in theory, I should be slightly better at playing the game because I've already played it through once. In fact, I played the tutorial through twice. She's drawing pretty pictures, Hugh. It's called the Sketchbook's demo. Okay, using weapons. Use your weapon, the primary unit, to attack. Ammo will slowly recharge after use, so it's left trigger to aim, right trigger to fire. Very, very typical third-person controller aiming controls. Third-person shooter.
You gotta help?
1 second.
Ammo very slowly recharges over time. I don't know whether we have to do a specific number of shots for that. Yoink! Hacking enemies. This is the mechanic that is very interesting. So to reach the green you have to reach the green exe node, the execute node, to hack targets. You move the cursor around the hacking matrix, connect it to the exe node to complete the hack, placing enemies in an open state and making them vulnerable to gunfire. So you still need to be in aim mode with left trigger, but you use the face buttons to move the cursor around. And then you hold L2 and... hold L2 and the touchpad to reset the hack. Later on in my first impressions playthrough, I screwed up when facing off against the boss at the end of the demo, and I'd completely forgotten about this. So playing this through actually a second time is, in some ways, quite helpful.
Diana,
So we follow the pathways, and then they go all glitchy.
Nope.
And headshots do more damage. Refined from a mineral unique to the moon known as lunar filament can absorb and copy any information it comes in contact with. Required for various upgrades in the shelter, which I'm assuming is a hub that we find later.
More of them?
Press R1 right before... okay. Now, fast moves is a thing that you get from completing the demo the first time. This isn't available in the demo the first time you play it through. Maybe you can actually do it, but you don't... It doesn't tell you can do it until the second thing. And I only know this because at the end of my first impressions, I went to look at the suit, the outfit that we unlock for completing the demo. And it tells you that this is unlocked as well. So this is a kind of a witch time.
These are shit.
Oops, double shooting. Oops. It doesn't mean I'm any good.
Glad that's over with.
Me too.
So what were you working on there?
That's a secret. I'll tell you later.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything here because I've got an entire section from the original video, which I'm going to insert now over this screen. Take it away, past Demajen. During investigation of abnormalities at the cradle, Hugh Williams becomes isolated and meets a young android, Diana. The two head to the top floor of the solar power plant to restore the main power so they can call Earth for help. As some of you, I'm not going to say many of you, because it depends, who this video attracts, but as some of you may know, as a general rule, I will watch an announcement trailer for a thing, a game, or a movie in some cases, and if it takes my interest on that, then I probably won't watch anything on it again, so as to not get any kind of spoilers. Pragmata wasn't one of those games. It was a game that the announcement trailer for it was weird. There was lots of spinning through space and giant things in the middle of what looked like a city, and this was years ago at this point, to the extent that I think a lot of people were kind of the opinion that the game was just cancelled. Because a lot of games have been cancelled over the last couple of years, and people were just like, "Yeah, it's never coming out. That's no longer a thing that we need to think about." And then, probably 2-3 months or so ago, some content creators got to go and play it. I think Maximilian Dude was one of them, and I watched a bit of his video on it because I'd forgotten that it existed, but also one of the things that he said was that he really went in there not really kind of getting what it was, and then coming away thinking it was one of the most fun games that he played, despite himself. And that stuck with me. Not because I particularly value Max's point of view on things. You know, I like watching him play video games, but I won't say we have similar taste in anything along those lines. But I found it was just such an interesting thing for him to state that, you know, he'd gone in thinking this just doesn't look good, and he came away with this idea, this impression that it's one of those Marmite games where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, but you've got to try it to figure that out, because until you actually get your hands on it, you're not really going to get to... It's one of those games where just watching it doesn't give you an understanding, I think is the best way I can say it. It doesn't give you an understanding of how the game actually feels to play.
First, we get the power on. Let's move.
Okay, here we are in the main game. Lovely lighting. Really, I think, doing what the RE engine does well, which is kind of enclosed spaces, limited things that could really kind of mess up the frame rate. You know from the Resident Evil games when it fails. Obviously, Monster Hunter Wilds is a bit of a sticking point for some people as regards that and its performance, but I believe they are working on it.
We got company.
You really sure you worked here?
What? This is my fault?
Dodging and thruster gauge. Dodging and jumping consume thruster gauge. When the gauge falls below set level, these actions are disabled. So it's essentially a stamina gauge. Allows you to dodge, jump, and hover. And also...
I know.
that.
Good work.
Look out for Spartans!
We can recover our suit integrity by holding down circle. And it looks like we've got kind of potions, essentially, in the bottom left-hand corner for this. Now, I tried to get up here, but there's an invisible wall. So, we're not doing that. Instead, we are going up here. Probably jump across there. If I want to. Yeah, there's lots of nice reflections, and in fact you can see us reflected in. So I'm assuming there's some form of Raymond tracing going on here.
It's locked.
I can open it.
Right.
Emergency lockdown for this area has been disabled.
Hack the power terminals. To left.
Please reboot the main power terminal on the top floor.
There we go. First one down.
One thing I really like about this is how the button prompts are on the sides that they are on the controller. So like they did in some of the old God of War QuickTime events. You know, circles on the right side, squares on the left side, and so on and so forth. That reduces some of the cognitive load. Okay. Multi-hack ×2. Oh, this is new. I think. Yeah, because it was... So this is the other thing I think that completing the demo does. So hacking nodes yellow have... So the yellow nodes on the kind of hack grid have special effects that trigger when passing through... When passed through while completing a hack. Passing through multiple nodes of the same type increases the effectiveness. Nodes can only be used a limited number of times. So they are a resource that you can run out of. Hacking node that links enemies together, opening multiple targets. Open time is extended while damage to affected targets is reduced. Passing through multiple nodes of the same type extends the open duration. Huh. So we can... again, this is new. So we can open multiple targets up, but they take...
Now we can hack a bunch of bots at once.
But they take less damage each. That is new. That was not in. I can't jump over there. Right. Go down. Can't get up there yet. Right, I think we've got a, if I remember correctly, a kind of elite style enemy. But first we have this gun, which is a shotgun. An attack unit specialising in frontal suppression that fires powerful close-range shockwaves and makes enemies easier to stagger. Becomes less effective as distance increases. So left on the D-pad, and it is specifically left on the D-pad for this. It's not just a toggle between weapons, it is this is set to that. And yeah, it's super good for up close stuff.
Up close.
Oops.
Blinking the enemy.
How you like this?
Hugh! Initiated. Look out! There's more! Look out for targeting something.
Is that it?
There you go.
So weird too.
I don't know. Try scanning.
So one thing I noticed is that if you use a particular weapon
Not that good at long distance.
in a fight, it quite often drops ammo for or another version of that weapon, which is very handy. So circle, square, square.
Lockdown for this area has been disabled.
That's
Nice.
two.
One more to go.
I really like the holograms. I like holograms in video games in general, frankly. I'm not going to mention how long that took me to figure out. I was looking around, being an idiot, as I so often am. Right, this was the original node that we got. So it increases damage dealt. Repeated use on the same enemy reduces its effectiveness. But passing through multiple nodes of the same type boosts damage.
We can use this to hit harder and beat things faster.
She's ever so slightly aggressive. Intruders detected.
Eat us again. Damn rat in a maze.
Ah, here's the big dude.
Doesn't like to talk.
Whatever. Let's just get this over with.
Ow. Oh, I got it. Ho, ho, ho.
Running around like this is taking its toll.
Want to slow down the pace?
Nah. I think we kept the people on Earth waiting long enough.
What are they waiting for? There's been very little hinting in this in terms of plots. Okay, I know I had a note about this, so I'm going to let the original audio play here. To Young Bay, from Kevin. Things at the solar plant are, in a word, quiet, even. Things at the solar plant are, in a word, quiet. You need an extra M dash after the R. Things at the solar plant are, in a word, quiet. Sorry, English teacher mode engaged. Grunts like us, grunts like us show up in the morning and check out what the bots had planned for the day, and then we spend the rest of the shift trying to look busy. Gets you thinking, we're both engineers, but you ended up on the front lines of lunar development. And me? Wish I could be out there too. What? Why is there a comma after grunts like us? Grunts like us show up in the morning. It's not a...
Bots did all the work, leaving him bored to tears. Man, cry me a river.
Are you bored too, Hugh?
Nah, I'm good. Kinda hard to get bored keeping up with your chit-chat.
I love the fact that she's got a little thing to stand on. Warning, anomaly detected. This power plant has entered emergency mode. Cradle power output is currently limited to 35% of standard capacity. Trams and supplementary facilities, I stumbled over that in the original as well, are now non-operational. To restore full functionality, restart the main power generator on the top floor under administrator supervision. I think they're all dead though. Whee! Electric power plants. Yeah. Performance is very good. Nice and smooth. I appreciate that. There's stuff over there. You don't get any maneuverability in the air.
Use this when we're outnumbered. That's a lot of limb.
That's a lot of limb. I didn't actually get that chest previously. Speaking of which, is there another... There are other chests in this area that I didn't see previously. Huh. I'm not going to try and get to them. He says. So this is fresh content because I didn't find these before. Yeah, there's a load of stuff hidden in here that I just didn't notice previously. Up.
Wow.
Wow. It's all currency. Which we don't have anything to spend. No, don't have anything to buy. I'm going to fall into the lasers. Ah! Damn it. Well, I've cocked this up, haven't I? Fortunately, it's not the most complicated of layouts.
This will make it easier to hit things harder.
Oh, I think... Oh, we just dropped the ones. Again, I hadn't realised that previously. So the fact that I'm having to do this again means that I'm actually discovering new stuff that I didn't notice before. Oh, I wanted to... Oh. Come on, Hugh. You can... Hugh can do... No. You can do it. Oh. Yoink. Right. Didn't check around there before. Right,
Lockdown for all on-site locations has been disabled. Please complete a manual reboot of the power plant controller to fully restore operations.
Alright, we made it. Now where do we find the main power terminal?
This takes us back down to the door, which I appreciate as nice kind of looping level design. Escape hatches are checkpoints that Hugh can return to if incapacitated in battle. Diana must hack an escape hatch to activate it. In the full game, you can return to the shelter As I said, probably a hub of some kind via escape hatches. At the shelter, your suit integrity will fully recover, and you can upgrade your gear as well as interact with Diana. So we don't need to actually interact with it in other ways. We just hack it to record our progress. Restore power to the lunar base. Reach the top floor. Didn't find that earlier. Aha, the static net gun. Stasis net gun. So, new weapon. A tactical unit that fires a spherical electromagnetic net. Expands on impact, immobilizing enemies within its radius for a short time. Duration varies by target. Which I assume means that bigger targets it's not going to...
Not bad.
Oh shoot, there's another dude there. That was not jumping, Hugh. That was the opposite of jumping. That was standing there and getting shot. It is about this time.
What the heck's going on with the bots here? They all got haywire or what?
I don't think they normally attack humans.
Yeah, well... we better get in contact with Earth before it's too late.
It was about this time in the original playthrough, according to my notes, that I said, you know what, I can really see the appeal of this. There's a certain fluidity.
Gonna let me know what you were doing back there? You weren't writing another apology, were you?
No, it'll be good this time.
I didn't get that dialogue last time.
There.
Yeah, I was starting to say, you know what, I can see the appeal of this. There is a certain degree of panicking fluidity, because there is that sense of almost cognitive overload that you're trying to do, shooting and hacking and puzzling and dodging and manoeuvring all at the same time, and it's quite complex, but also doesn't feel overwhelming. I assume there's probably a way of getting around to that, but I don't know what it is. Also, I don't know what L1 does. We haven't had anything on L1 yet. Hologram surveillance. It has come to my attention that a simple mistake I made got caught on hologram, and now the recording is being spread around the cradle. I enjoy my work, but it doesn't foster a positive work environment knowing that everything I do could be the subject of criticism or a joke. Is it really necessary for all operations to be recorded with such strict surveillance? I regret to inform you, upon joining the cradle, you agreed to a contract acknowledging that all areas except for designated private zones are subject to continuous 24-hour surveillance. Honestly, I sometimes wonder if the company is pushing the boundaries with this policy, but I suppose Delphi wants to leverage its access to state-of-the-art tech to strengthen security measures cradle-wise. I'm sorry I could not provide a more concrete answer, but rest assured your concerns have been noted. Indeed. And then we get a little hologram thing here. The one thing I will say about this, which I didn't actually say in the first impressions that I made, was that there's a really obvious invisible wall here. And I know why it's here. It's because when you hit this,
walkers are pretty crazy.
It creates a really obvious wall. But it feels a bit weird.
There are no kids here, but if there were, they could probably handle them too. And with Edith managing the lot, they're always there when you need them.
Man, what should we do? It's just so much easier to let the walkers handle it.
Well, I mean, there's still plenty of work that only a human can do. Like thinking up new innovations, or new business ventures to explore. But anyway, enough slacking. Time to get back to crunching those lab results.
Conversation saved does make me wonder if this is going to have some kind of importance later, or whether it is just simply a case of it's saving it just to show that we've listened to it. I had to watch this in my first impressions because I thought I saw it flicker, and then it just didn't do it. Right, if I remember correctly, there's nothing actually... Oh! Hold on. This door didn't open in the first impressions. Oh, hello. Charge Piercer. This is new. A powerful attack unit that fires armor-piercing rounds. When charged, its power and piercing effects dramatically increase. Unaffected by range, it excels even at striking from afar. So it's a railgun. Oh. Oh, well, this it completely changes some of the stuff that I was speculating about. So I may as well talk about it now. We're about to go up an elevator, and at the top of the elevator there's a load of weapons on the floor. There's red weapons and green weapons. There's the red weapons with the shockwave guns, green weapons with the stasis net. And I was just wondering whether they were colour-coded so we could make it clear what weapon is what. But that's not what's happening, is it? Because we've actually got red weapons on the left D-pad and green weapons on the right D-pad. So it's not designating a particular weapon, it's designating a particular type of weapon.
Charge that before firing for best results.
I quite like the shotgun. Not going to use it here, I'm going to save it for...
Look! What do you have?
Now it's my turn.
Oh, I don't think we take damage from explosions. That confused me last time as well.
Damn.
Gonna have that one for the extra damage. Welcome to the solar power plant. The key to living on the moon and advancing research and development was ensuring access to a stable power supply. It's fair to say that the advanced systems in place at our solar power plant have been the backbone for supporting Delphi's development and expansion at the cradle. World building. We like a bit of world building in our science fiction. That's not the interact button at all, is it, Dema?
I hope dropping down here somehow...
Oh, I missed a thing.
Maybe there's an elevator up ahead.
There's a box of cash.
Wow! More limb!
Save points. 9. Okay. Yes, here we go. This is the place with all the guns and stuff on the floor. And it's actually the top of this elevator particularly. This doesn't activate until we... So we've got a shockwave gun there. As well as another stasis net that we can use if we need it. And a multi-hack, which we're actually going to take because we're going to get swarmed. Okay, should be incoming.
Intruders detected. Please remove them from premises.
Look out for its targeting sensor.
Ow.
Got him!
On it.
Keep the shooting. Get off!
Linking the enemy.
Nice. I didn't do this anywhere near as well the first time, as you could probably imagine. I need to hack this.
Ready? Got it! Are we there yet?
I'm sure. Starting to feel a bit lost.
Are we there yet? I quite like the dynamic between the two of them. It could so easily have been at... Ooh, a little bit of slowdown there.
We can restore the power with that terminal.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, okay, so this is the room that I was talking about at the top of the elevator with loads of stuff. We're about to fight a boss. Which should be fine. I didn't struggle with it particularly. But I do now know its weak spot, which I didn't at the start of the fight. Because I figured it out during the fight. Yeah, so my theory was that red guns are always shockwave guns and green guns are always stasis nets. But we have now learned, thanks to second impressions, I guess, that they are types of weapons. Which makes me wonder what the one on D-pad down is going to be. I still don't know why she's a little girl as an android. It's slightly creepy, if I'm honest.
Reconnecting primary.
But I'm not getting that kind of really... It's not quite the lolly vibe, even though realistically, you know, she's an android, not a child.
50%.
And the fact that she's not horrendously sexualized is also a relief.
Unauthorized access detected. Severing primary.
I have to admit, the fact that this guy's called Idus, I keep reading this Findus, which is a maker of fish and fish fingers foods in Britain, or at least it was. I don't actually know whether Findus are still working. But yeah, it makes me think of fish fingers. Because I'm very strange.
Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize us?
Yes.
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. Get ready.
Okay, so this is Big Boss.
Any idea what the hell this is?
Never seen it before.
So it's not one of your pot buddies? Then I guess we can just go in blasting. Get some.
Look out!
Oh, that is slow. Oh shit, yes. Need to dodge these.
Initiate. Defenses are down.
Where'd they get all those missiles?
They were made with lunar.
Lucky us, right?
Oh, right, and now we get to do a special thing. Critical shots. Unleash a critical shot. Powerful follow-up attack when near a downed enemy with R2. And we just jump on and whack it in the head for reasons. Oh. Huh? Oh, yes.
Dirty bastard.
Sturdy bastard. My stripper name. No.
Try!
Overdrive.
Drive protocol initiate.
Frame rate's tanked for that for some reason. When the hacking gauge fills, Diana's ability Overdrive protocol can be activated. When used, it opens nearby enemies, immobilizes them briefly, and deals damage. The gauge fills by hacking.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
I think it really did something.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, let's do this.
Let me see if I can get another one of these guns. Nice. Oh, I'm not within range there.
Shoot out!
Shit!
Starting
Oh, nice. Now is indeed our chance. Yes, this is going much better than it did the first time, but you'd expect that to be the case because I've done it already. But there's a degree of tacticality. You have to be tactical for this. You can't just spam dodge because you'll run out of juice. You have to use your attacks wisely. I quite like it.
We did it!
Uh-huh.
This is how we say good job.
I don't know why her fingers are a bit wibbly. I noticed that previously as well. And that's basically it. That's the demo. So, yes. That is...
Time's up, kiddo.
Oh, we've got this as well.
Tell me what you were working on.
Okay. Here, take a look.
I think that's a different picture. I'm sure it was number 7. Well, no, I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain it was number 7 previously. Anyway, I'm going to play the original audio footage now. So that was my kind of second playthrough, such as it was, of the Pragmata demo. I enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed it the first time. In fact, I'd argue I enjoyed it ever so slightly more because we got those extra unlocks. Take it away, past Demajen. What did you think? Really zoomed in. See, they've modelled the little hairs on the side of her face. Why does she have those as an android? Completion time, 25 minutes and 19 seconds. New record. I'm assuming for demo completion. Yes. Okay. 24th of April, 2026. I can kind of see where Max was coming from with this. There's something oddly satisfying and fluid with the combat. It does kind of feel like they're probably going to up how complicated it is with different modifiers and different colours and stuff, and there were clear trap squares, so to speak, on the hacking grid. But the kind of push and pull of holding left trigger to aim, which also hacks, and then using the face buttons with your thumb to do the hacking and the trigger buttons with your finger to do the shooting. It works so far quite nicely. That being said, I can see why they've got dodge on R1 and shoot on R2, so that you can kind of roll your finger to swap between them. That would probably take a little bit of getting used to, but it's because you're hacking with your thumb. You can be, and there's no point shooting, I don't think, while you're hacking. that's your opportunity to roll your finger forwards and dodge whilst you're hacking. If you can keep both of those things straight in your head at the same time, which, yeah. That was really interesting. Does Pragmata have a... I mean, I assume it's got a store page because it's got a demo page. Check out the full game. Game planned to unlock in approximately 4 months. Pre-purchase for £50. Or the deluxe edition for £60. So that is... And I'm not going to say cheap for 50 quid. But it is cheaper than a lot of AAA titles. And I'm assuming this is a AAA title because it's Capcom. It's a Capcom game. It's not just published by Capcom, it's developed by Capcom as well. Now, I don't know whether it's a smaller studio that Capcom gobbled up or what. I mean, even from looking at this screen, you can see that we're not staying on the lunar base. Clearly, we're in the middle of a city here. And as I said towards the start, there was some weird stuff in the very first kind of launch trailer. This is the kind of place that you'd probably put a new outfit, scribble suit unlocked. New ability, fast moves unlocked. Dodge just before an enemy's attack to briefly slow time and create an opening for a counterattack. New weapon, charge piercer and hacking node multi-hack unlocked. I'm assuming this is just for the demo. What's the scribble suit? I assume it's just going to change what's on the jacket. Or potentially our jackets. I'd say the difficulty as a normal mode there was spot on. Ah, yes, he's got stuff drawn all over it. I'm quite intrigued as to, he's got googly eyes drawn on. Yoink. Yeah, I don't need to play the... Oh, I never even looked at the menus. We've got files, emails, system. Have we got anything on the touchpad? I saw one right before an enemy's attack to temporarily slow time. Well, I screwed that up, didn't I? Right, come on. There we go. That was the fast move. So it's a bullet time, witch time style effect. Perfect dodge. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm quite intrigued as to the kind of general story. What is going on? How did Hugh get himself into this situation, and so on, and so forth. And 50 quid is depending on the length of the game, a reasonable amount for a kind of AAA quality title. This is very much the Resident Evil engine doing what the Resident Evil engine is good at. It's good at enclosed spaces. It's very blurry when the camera is up close, but yeah, no biggie. So that was a look at the Pragmata Sketchbook demo, which is... it's kind of weird. If I'm honest, it's kind of weird, and I've kind of enjoyed it. And I'm just hoping that this has recorded the audio, because I've just remembered that I changed some settings for recording Metroid stuff, and I have the horrible feeling it might not have recorded the desktop audio. In which case, you will have been stuck with my first impressions without audio, because you can't exactly do first impressions. Ah, balls. I should have checked that. That's on me. Oh well, I'll see what I can do. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.